cleared for takeoff. Yeah, that's the new Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn. And pretty special to see Glenn get what he called his dream job as the head coach of the New York Jets this week. He's had quite the journey from scout to big name coordinator, now the head coach of the team that drafted him in 1994. Marcus, you tweeted that you thought the Jets hiring of Glenn was a home run. Why is that?
Yeah, the ability to communicate, first and foremost, Boogie. He's been there. He understands what it's like. Had successful defense in Detroit. I think the X's and O's speak for themselves. Aaron has been around this game. He's a studier of the game, very much so. And then, can you get players to play for you? Is the first question I would ask if I was an owner or a GM looking to hire a coach. And you see the relationship that he has with guys. It's strong enough, as you see here with Kirby Joseph, to get on him, but also get the most out of him. And I think that's the number one trait and characteristic you need to have as a head coach. And I think Aaron embodies that, and he relates to these guys because he's been there and in these moments.
Aaron Glenn is a leader of men. He's a leader of men in his household. He's a leader of men in that locker room. He's a leader of men in the stadium on game days. And that's exactly what the New York Jets needed. What I do love about this Jets hire was they didn't feel or force themselves to go away from defense and went with the best candidate, went with the person that's going to delegate the best, that's going to motivate the best, and going to get players to be their best. And I love the fact that Aaron Glenn has gone through the journey of stepping away from football and coming back to it because he loved it so much. And it's that passion that has gotten him to this point. And I think he'll instill those things into the locker room of the New York Jets.
Of course, as we've talked about, they got to figure out what's going on at the quarterback spot, a few other positions, but Aaron Glenn, of course, gets this job well-deserved. Now, 3 of the 7 head coaching vacancies have already been filled. Mike Vrabel heading to New England, Ben Johnson going to the Bears. Aaron Glenn, as we just talked about, to the Jets. 4 teams are still looking: the Cowboys, Raiders, Jaguars, and Saints. We'll see if any of those get filled. And Adam Schefter is joining us now. Adam, what more can you add about these vacancies that are still remaining in the NFL?
And we'll start with Jacksonville, Laura. The Jacksonville Jaguars went from looking for a head coach to looking for a head coach and a general manager when they made the move to part ways with Trent Baalke. And so Jacksonville now really is just beginning its search. They have to get a GM as well. They're meeting today with coaches starting these interviews. Robert Saleh is doing there tomorrow. We'll see how that works out for them. Patrick Graham is there today meeting for the Jacksonville Jaguars head coaching vacancy. As for the New Orleans Saints, they have Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, coming in tomorrow. Mike Kafka, the Giants offensive coordinator, coming in the day after that. The Oakland Raiders Las Vegas Raiders hired John Spytek as their general manager. A lot of conversation around Pete Carroll, Steve Spagnuolo, a veteran presence. We'll see if that's what they decide to do. And of course, the Dallas Cowboys. That job is still open right now, and the Jones family just wrapped up 2 days of meetings with offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, who seems to be a candidate for that job. We'll see if the two sides figure out a way to get that done, or if the Cowboys continue their search looking for a new head man to replace Mike McCarthy.
Of course, we're all on standby for whenever these things happen. Adam will have the latest, and it'll be here on NFL Live. All right, let's talk about the Eagles and their injury situation. Jalen Hurts, we saw him off the top of the show out there at practice today. Sal Powell telling us a little bit limited at times. Also Quinyon Mitchell, but let's start with Jalen Hurts. Adam, what do we know?
Lord, he's going to play in the NFC Championship game, but the real question involved with Jalen Hurts after he suffered that knee injury on Sunday in the divisional playoff against the Rams is how effective he'll be, how limited he'll be, if at all. Is he going to be out there and be able to do everything that he normally does? Looks okay during the warm-ups, looks okay throwing the medicine ball. We'll see how that translates into Sunday's NFC Championship game against the Washington Commanders. The cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, rookie cornerback who's been outstanding this season, also dealing right now with that shoulder injury. He said he's going to be playing on Sunday in that NFC Championship game. And again, we're at the point of the year where guys play through a lot of different aches and pains. Quinyon Mitchell's going to be out there despite that shoulder injury. Sure, at some point in time, he'll be on Terry McLaurin as well, trying to limit his production. But the Eagles expect to have both players available in Sunday's NFC Championship game.
All right, so good to know they'll be out there for the Eagles. But, Dan, if Quinyon isn't 100% or maybe worse, he can't go Sunday for some reason, how concerned are you?
I would be concerned. If I was Washington, I would test it early and often. I would test, because you got to remember, Washington, no huddle offense. More often than not, Terry McLaurin aligns on their left, which is where Quinyon Mitchell would play opposite him. You're not going to bring Darius Slay over from the other side. So if it's Quinyon, I want to test early on how good that shoulder is. So maybe there's a couple quick screens. Maybe we take a shot downfield to see exactly how he's feeling. Even if it's Isaiah Rodgers, like let's say Quinyon's not capable of going, I still want to do the same stuff. So this is an offense that in many ways is built because of the tempo and because of the quick pass game, where you can really challenge exactly who's out there and how good they're feeling in the moment.
You know what's scary about this Washington offense right now is first half of the season so focused on Terry McLaurin, but over the last few weeks you have seen when teams play single high and they cheat towards helping Terry McLaurin, De'Ami Brown has really benefited from those one-on-ones, which makes it, of course, even harder, even if you have Quinion Mitchell. I think Vic Fangio is going to play a ton of split safety coverage in this. All of the big plays back in Week 16 were against single high. It's also in his DNA and the DNA of this defense to begin with. And that's, by the way, regardless of whether or not Quinion Mitchell plays or he doesn't play, I think they're going to try to put a roof on this offense.
Yeah, remember,
I'd be shocked if they blitzed as much as they did when they played a month ago.
Yeah, that as well.
Daniels had 6 explosive plays in Week 16. So, yeah, to your point. All right, before we get to our ESPN Bet Sportsbook same-game parlay, take a listen to what A.J. Brown had to say about his lack of production in the playoffs.
I can't worry about what happened in the past or even these past 2 games. I only can look at the film and learn from it. Like I said, after the game, I'm okay. We won. I had some incredible blocks for the spring touchdown. So regardless of if the numbers are not there, I know people care about that. But right now, none of that matter.
All right, Marcus, you get the honors today. After hearing that, walk us through your picks.
So first we got A.J. Brown. I think it's 59.5 receiving yards. He's going over that, Boogie. We've talked about this passing game. I think they're going to have to hit A.J. Brown in multiple ways and finding ways to give him the ball, as we talked about earlier. Saquon having a 23-yard rush is like waking up in the morning and hopefully everybody brushes their teeth on this show. That's what he's going to do. He's going to have a run for 23 or more yards, those explosive runs. And then we get to Jalen Hurts. And this is the question about the passing game. And this is what everybody is waiting to see. And I believe he goes over. Now, let's keep this in context. We got run after the catch possibilities. We got screen possibilities. And we got third down, which is very important, converting possibilities. They've been bad on third down. I think they understand now that they have to get this done. He'll be looking for his guys. And don't forget about Devontae Smith and the ways that they can get these guys the football. So I got all 3 overs. Everybody play the over. Go get your money and holler at me on X or something and tell me thank you.
Yeah, you better thank him. Holla at your boy.
Go cool.
Not with
The Dallas Cowboys are in the middle of a chaotic offseason. With the search for a new head coach still ongoing, the uncertainty surrounding the team is at an all-time high. Fans are waiting for answers, players are preparing for what's next, and Jerry Jones is making decisions that could define the future of the franchise. But in the midst of all this, Dak Prescott decided to take matters into his own hands, at least when it comes to team morale. Instead of just sitting back and waiting for things to unfold, Prescott found a way to bring his teammates together before the new season even starts. And trust me, it wasn't just a simple text message or a team dinner. He went big. But what exactly did he do? Well, let's just say it involved a unique, high-tech gift that no one saw coming. Would you want a quarterback like Dak making this kind of move? Let me know in the comments. So, what did Dak do? He teamed up with Emoto Supply Co. to surprise every player on the roster with a custom Cake Maka e-bike, each one personalized with the player's jersey number. And that's not all. Along with the bike, every teammate also received an exclusive custom-designed cap to complete the package. We're talking about 85 bikes in total, one for every player on the team. And these aren't just any bikes. The Cake Maka is sleek, electric, and designed for urban mobility. It's a practical, yet stylish way for the players to get around, and Dak made sure each one had a personal touch. Now here's a question for you. If you were an NFL player, would you rather get an e-bike like this or something more traditional, like a fancy watch? Drop your pick in the comments. But wait until you hear how much this gift actually cost Dak. It's not cheap. All right, let's talk numbers. These Cake Maka e-bikes don't come cheap. Each one costs around $3,800, which means that for 85 bikes, Dak shelled out over $323,000. And that's just the base price. When you factor in customizations, the total could be even higher. That's a serious investment, and it raises an interesting question. Was this just a generous gift, or a strategic move as a leader? Think about it. Dak is entering a contract year, and with all the uncertainty surrounding the Cowboys, this could be his way of reinforcing his role as the heart of the team, a way to keep the locker room united through tough times. So, what do you think? Is this the kind of leadership move that earns respect? Or do you see it as an expensive PR stunt? Vote in the poll. Either way, the impact of this gift goes beyond the price tag. Let's talk about what it could mean for team chemistry. A gesture like this can do more than just impress. It can bring a team together. In a time when uncertainty is hanging over the Cowboys, Dak's gift might be exactly what the locker room needs. A way to boost morale, reinforce camaraderie, and remind everyone that they're in this together. Think about it. When a quarterback goes out of his way to show appreciation for his teammates, it sets a tone. It says, "I've got your back." And in a league where chemistry can make or break a season, that kind of message matters. But here's the question. Does something like this actually make a difference on the field? Some might argue that leadership is about performance, not presence. Others believe that building a strong team bond off the field leads to better results on it. What do you think? Can this kind of gesture impact the Cowboys' season? Or is it just a nice bonus? Let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about the one potential downside. There's no doubt that Dak's gift was generous, but could it also be risky? These Cake Maka e-bikes can hit speeds of up to 28 mph and travel 40 miles on a single charge. That's fast enough to be fun and dangerous. The last thing the Cowboys need is a player getting injured off the field. We've seen freak accidents derail entire seasons before, and with a gift like this, there's always a chance someone gets a little too reckless. So, was this a perfect team-building move or an unnecessary risk? Some fans might see it as a great gesture, while others might worry about players riding around Dallas like they're in a Fast and Furious movie. What's your take? Was Dak's gift a brilliant idea or a potential disaster waiting to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments. One thing's for sure, this offseason has been unpredictable, and Dak just made it even more interesting.